All right, let's see if the audio is okay. Perfect. How's it going, everyone? I hope you all are doing great. I am Dork Radu and I am back with another daily analysis. As always, we're gonna start off with the Forex analysis. And to be more exact, I'm gonna start off with odd NZD, where we have this beautiful sell limit opportunity running in some nice profits as we speak. Had a very beautiful sniper reaction on our first entry, went super close to TP number 2 as well. As we can see, it went to 1 to 8 risk to reward ratio, which is really solid and still running in some nice profits. So we just need to wait and see how this setup will unfold. The reason I took it is because I saw a continuation of this downtrend with this aggressive break towards the downside. We had a unmitigated order block that was lining up perfectly with the point of interest. The daily and the 4-hour were both bearish on the trader graph, and the pullback was also a very nice and corrective one. Okay. Next up, we have AUD CAD with a bullish opportunity. We have a aggressive break right here. We broke multiple highs with it. We have a unmitigated order block lining up perfectly with the point of interest as well as with this bullish trader order block. Daily and 4-hour are both bullish on the graph, and so far this pullback looks pretty corrective as well, which is exactly what we are looking for. On Euro USD, we have a bearish opportunity. We have an aggressive break towards the downside caused by this bearish leg. After the break, imbalance was left behind. I was able to identify this unmitigated order block that is lining up with this bearish trader order block, and they are both lining up with the area of interest. The 4-hour is bearish on the trader graph, and it is safe to say that so far the pullback was also a corrective one. On Euro CHF, we have another bearish opportunity that we can see is very close to our first entry. This one is very textbook. We have a continuation of this downtrend with this aggressive break of structure to the downside right here. We have a unmitigated order block that was lining up with the point of interest, the 4-hour bearish on the trader graph, and the pullback also a corrective one. On USD CHF, we have another bearish opportunity. Once again, overall bearish. And right here we have a aggressive break towards the downside. Before the break, liquidity was swept as well right here. And after the break, I was able to identify this beautiful fair value gap that is lining up perfectly with the point of interest. Daily and 4-hour both bearish on the trader graph, and this pullback has been pretty corrective as well. On odd JPY, we have a bullish setup, a textbook break towards the upside. Liquidity was imbalance was left behind. We have this beautiful fair value gap that is lining up perfectly with the point of interest. Daily is also bullish on the graph, and now we just need to wait to see if we manage to get a corrective pullback. On EuroCAD, we have a bullish setup. We have a aggressive break towards the upside, and before the break, liquidity was swept as well right here. After the break, I was able to identify this unmitigated order block that, as we can see, is lining up perfectly with the area of interest. The daily is bullish on the graph, and now the last thing that we need to wait for is to see if we manage to get a corrective pullback or not. On AUD USD, another bullish setup, very aggressive break, unmitigated order block lining up perfectly with the point of interest as well as with this bullish trader order block. Daily and 4-hour both bullish on the trader graph, and so far the pullback looks pretty corrective as well, I would say. NZD CAD with a bullish opportunity right here, a continuation of this uptrend with this aggressive break right here that left a lot of imbalance behind. We have this unmitigated order block lining up with the discounted area of this bullish range as well as with this bullish trader order block. Daily and the 4-hour are both bullish on the trader graph, and the pullback looks pretty nice and corrective so far. So we definitely want to see a continuation of that. On odd CHF, we have a bullish setup, aggressive break, unmitigated order block lining up with the area of interest. Daily bullish on the graph, and pullback so far looking pretty corrective as well. Euro NZD, what do we have here? A bearish setup, okay, a continuation of this downtrend, Aggressive break towards the downside, fair value gap lining up perfectly with the point of interest. Daily and 4-hour both bearish on the trader graph, and we can see that we have two bearish trader order blocks as well, lining up with the premium area of this bearish range. And now we gotta wait to see if we get a corrective pullback towards our fire zone. On Euro JPY, we have a textbook breakup structure towards the upside. We have an unmitigated order block lining up perfectly with the point of interest. The daily is bullish on the trader graph, and now we just need to wait for a corrective pullback. And lastly, we have GBP CAD with another bullish setup, a clear continuation of this uptrend with this bullish break right here that took price higher and left imbalance behind. We have this fair value gap lining up with the area of interest. The trader graph is fully bullish, which is exactly what we are looking for. And this pullback looks pretty corrective as well. So we definitely want to see a continuation of that. And yeah, we'll end today's Forex analysis right here. As always, if there's any other questions, make sure to reach out on Discord. Now I will go over today's metals analysis, starting off with gold, where we have a textbook bearish setup. We have a liquidity sweep followed by a very impulsive break towards the downside. We have this fair value gap lining up perfectly with the point of interest. Right above it, we have a bearish trader order block as well. The 4-hour is also bearish on the trader graph, and it is safe to say that the pullback was very, very corrective, which is exactly what we are looking for. And on silver, we have another bearish opportunity looking pretty similar. Liquidity sweep, aggressive break towards the downside, fair value gap lining up perfectly with the point of interest. Pullback definitely very, very corrective so far, and it looks like price might want to head lower. And if that's the case, then this setup will become invalid. But till then, it is still a valid setup. 4-hour is also bearish on the graph, and we can see that above the fair value gap, we have a unmitigated bearish trader order block as well. So yeah, on that note, we'll end today's metals analysis right here. As always, if there's any further questions, make sure to reach out on Discord. And now I will go over today's indices analysis, starting off with US 30, where there's nothing to talk about really because the price is pretty much in the middle of nowhere. Hence why we'll just leave it as is and wait for some fresh structure. On SPX, we have a aggressive bullish break to right here that left imbalance behind. We have an unmitigated order block lining up perfectly with the area of interest. The trader graph is fully bullish, and now all we need to wait for is a corrective pullback. On NAS 100, we have another bullish setup, a continuation of this uptrend with this very aggressive break right here. We have a fair value gap that is lining up with the area of interest. The trader graph is fully bullish as well. And now, of course, the last thing that we need to wait for is a corrective pullback. And yeah, on that note, we'll end today's indices analysis right here. As always, make sure to reach out on Discord if there's any further questions. And lastly, I will go over today's crypto analysis, starting off with Bitcoin, where there's nothing really to analyze because the price is currently in the middle of nowhere. From here, I want to see a clear move to the up or downside, and from there, we should be able to identify a new setup. Same story on Ethereum, pretty much in the same exact spot as Bitcoin. On Dogecoin though, I was able to identify a bullish setup. I saw this impulsive break towards the upside caused by this bullish leg, a unmitigated order block lining up with the area of interest as well as with this bullish trader order block. Daily and 4-hour both bullish on the trader graph, and also a pretty nice and corrective pullback so far as well. On XRP, nothing really to analyze. Very, very easy to see that we are pretty much in the middle of nowhere. Hence why we'll just keep it simple. And lastly, on Solana, I think same story as on XRP. Currently, we don't have a clear setup, a clear range that we could trade. Hence why we'll just leave it as is and focus on the assets where we have a clear setup. And yeah, on that note, we'll end today's crypto as well as the overall daily analysis right here. As always, I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see y'all on the dark side. Take care.